So, this video is going to be a bit more of a sad video. Uh, don't worry, it's not me trying to kill myself on video again. It's not going to be like that, but it's about a positive event, but it really does hit my emotions years later because a lot of things. So, I'm going to set up this background of where I was in life at this point, what happened, everything like that. So basically, I was in ninth grade, still living with my mother, and we had a dog who was named, or the name that she had when we got her was Chloe. Then my stepfather, but he is my father. I don't know. I corrected myself there. He is my father. He's been that role ever since he fucking moved in with us. I was a little shit who didn't want to admit it for the longest time, but he is my fucking dad. But my dad changed her name to Sugar, and we had her for a couple years, but this was mid 2019, about maybe early 2019, and I got into arguments with my mom quite often at the time. I felt that I wasn't loved for stupid reasons, and I treated her really poorly, which I will always have regrets for. And it was one of the stupider arguments that I got into with her. But the one thing that I will always remember is that at some point I started tearing up, and then Sugar saw that. As soon as she saw a tear coming out of my eye, she started barking at my mother. And my mother sent her to go outside. But that really just, I have to hold myself back from crying every time I think about that, because it really just goes to show how close she was with me. Because even though the dog was a family dog and not just my dog, I'd be the one who was latest to leave the house every day. After I got ready for school, I'd just sit down with her, give her some love, pet her, give her food. If she hadn't eaten yet, give her water. And it really just goes to show that that maybe hour span, even longer on the days that I would skip school, it really just, the bond wasn't just one sided. She felt just as protective of me as I was of her. She was a lazy ass dog. Really fucking lazy. But she was my dog. Even if she was bought for the family, she was my dog. Lazy ass girl. And best fucking dog I could have ever asked for. Unfortunately, on January 12th of 2021, she did pass away from a hernia, which, as soon as I got the news, I broke down in tears for 2 hours straight. But I've come to terms a bit with it, mostly because my coworkers, they have a dog named Chloe. She's which, if you were listening to the earlier parts of the video, Chloe was the name Sugar had before my dad changed it to Sugar. So that was already one weird connection. They were different breeds. I don't really know what breed Chloe is, but Sugar was an English bulldog. And same exact color palette. Light brown and white. Really lazy as well. She loves getting her loves. She loves getting pet. Real human person. Similarly, unfortunate story with the prior owners. But that, although I think she was older, or is older rather, than Sugar was when she died. It was I it was like I finally got the closure that I had been looking for years. 3 years after Sugar's death, plus, and I had finally gotten something in my life to get me to the point where I could accept it. Of course, I was always happy that she was no longer in pain, and I always wish, no matter what, that she could have stayed with me longer. But my biggest regret was being a state away living with my father in her last hours, because I wasn't able to be with her to comfort her in her last hours of life, which that's always going to tear me up inside. But with Chloe, I I finally was able to get the closure that I so desperately wanted and needed for so long with Sugar and her death. And it really feels like her soul or her being just inside another dog. It really, it took so long, but I can finally accept that she may be gone, but she will always be with me. She found a way back to me, and that's going to be the case until I'm gone as well. She's going to keep finding her way